Hey guys, this cool FNAF game came out the other day, and I was very confused as to how the animatronics work. So, after playing the game for a while and understanding everything about it, I will now make a simple guide that everyone can understand, and it will help you complete the nights by knowing exactly how every animatronic works. So, before starting, I will use this map to indicate the places where the animatronics roam around. So, starting out, we have Freddy. Freddy will be activated since night 1. He mainly roams around the dining room, to the party halls, and around the arcade near the bathrooms and the main entrance. Freddy will also occasionally roam around the office, even going as far as getting close to one of the doors. Close the corresponding door when you see him on the cameras. When you are roaming around the establishment, stay out of his line of sight, as he will trigger a chase when caught. There are also rumors that sprinting right next to him will also trigger a chase. However, you can still sprint around him as long as you're not close enough. You can also use the lockers to hide from him while he's chasing you to avoid being caught, as I just did. But the real threat here is how difficult it is sometimes to get around him when the ventilation malfunctions, as his entire path is just him trying to prevent you from getting there. Aside from that, he's a pretty easy animatronic to evade as long as you're careful around the dining room and near the entrance. So, in case you were wondering, here is his jump scare. So, next up we have Bunny. Bunny will be activated in night 2. He will always spawn in the loading docks and roam around the cargo bay, to the east hallway and sometimes to the electrical room, and near your office. Close the door on him and stay out of his line of sight to avoid being chased, because once he chases you, you're pretty much dead. So Bonnie is usually pretty annoying because he will show up to your front door quite often, and there's nothing you can do about it, well, besides closing the door. This will usually force you to take the long path to the generators once they break. So yeah, he has the same chase speed as Freddy, and you can also use a locker to hide from him. Personally, I recommend to be very careful around the areas where he can see you because he caught me off guard or around a corner more than once. So if you were wondering, here is his jump scare. So next up is Foxy. Okay, so Foxy will be activated in night 3. He will occasionally leave his cove giving out a sound cue, which is it is its signature dum 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 dum. You know it, and roam around the dining room all the way to the office. Although he is the fastest animatronic, he is also one of the easier ones to deal with, due to the fact that you can slow him down immensely with a light source, like the flashlight, lighter, lantern, etc. When Foxy leaves his cove, you can actually wind up his music box to call him back earlier. Foxy goes back to his cove in his own due time though, whether or not his music box has been wound. So, Foxy is usually one of the hardest ones for the beginners because when he arrives to the office, he will run at you like a bullet train and murder you instantly, not even giving you the chance to use the blast door. That's why you should always listen to the sound cue and have your light source at hand to slow him down. His approach to the office is indicated by its easily recognizable metallic footsteps, so when you hear them, turn on your light source and wait for him to show up. So next is Chica. Chica will be activated in night 4. She roams around the generator halls, making it more difficult for players to restart the generators on their own. Although she might seem scary at first, she's actually very shy. Looking at her will cause her to stop functioning, freezing her in place. She appears to also have Alzheimer's, as she forgets the player ever exists the second you get out of her field of view by running around a corner. Well, Chica is probably one of the easiest animatronics to avoid since you can hear her footsteps a mile away and looking at her will be enough. But it is necessary to include that this only happens when you look at her from the front. If you look at her back, she will not be affected. Well, if you wanted to see her jump scare, here it is. The next one is the marionette, or puppet. Marionette will be activated since night 1. Marionette resides behind the curtains inside the office. Instead of repeatedly winding up a music box, you must repeatedly close the curtains on her so she doesn't get out. When Marionette gets out of her box, she will select a random player to kill. The selected player will hear her music chimes starting out slow as it gets faster and faster within time, until it stops and she kills the player. The selected player can avoid their deaths by looking at the puppet mask that appears after her music chime ends. There is a small gap of time after the music ends and before the marionette kills the player. There's also a sound cue that signifies when the mask appears. The mask usually appears above the player's head. If you successfully evade the marionette's attack, you will get a badge. It is worth to mention that the higher the night, the faster the marionette will escape. Golden Freddy will be activated since night 1. He visits players who are hiding or standing still for too long. Move around to make him go away. Golden Freddy also visits you when the power is out for too long. Golden Freddy is RNG dependent as we can appear in under 10 seconds with the power going out, and there is nothing you can do. Other than preventing the power from going out in the first place by conserving power and restarting the generators whenever they're in need of repairs. Leaving the room can help, but will not guarantee your safety. This marks the end of the animatronics guide. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and feel free to give me any suggestions about videos I could make about this or other Roblox games down in the comments below. It will be greatly appreciated if you subscribed because I'm at 25 subscribers and reaching 5,000. So yeah, see you later.